Hey, today I wanted to do a follow-up on my previous clip about misspent marketing because people had some questions there, and I thought it'd be useful to actually put some numbers down. So you might remember that I was talking about a client that was spending about $1,000 a month on social media marketing. And we'll just use that number. It was from like a long time ago, but let's stick with that for accuracy. So let's work this out. Let's suppose that they had kept on with the same strategy for 12 months. And we know that social media marketing was not something that worked for them, right? It's not a place where their clients were hanging out. So if you spend $1,000 a month over the course of the year, you're spending 12 grand to generate 0 leads, right? That means you're 12 grand in the hole over here, right? Now let's say that instead of doing that, you pivot after Q1. You do maybe 3 months of spending that social media marketing. Then someone like me comes along and says, look, you're misspending here. You really need to do something else, like a warm lead email marketing campaign. Okay, so you immediately cut off the social media spending and instead spent 3 grand to run that email campaign. And you can run it continuously throughout the year, right? So already, instead of spending 12 grand, you've spent 3 grand on figuring out that social media doesn't work, 3 grand on email. That's 6 grand. So you've spent half so far. Now suppose that email campaign actually brings in, say, I don't know, 10 prospects who are interested in what you have to say, and one of them maybe, and that's not outrageous funnel. You email thousands of people, 10 are interested, one actually signs up with a pilot project. Their minimum pilot projects and consulting gigs usually were somewhere around 10 grand. Okay, you've spent 6 grand, but you bring on a client that then spends 10 grand, right? Or even if 10 grand is a lot, they might come in with one of their subscription services and spend about another grand a month on their managed services, right? So think that might be another 6 to 9 months, let's say 6 conservative, of getting 1 grand a month, right? So on the one hand, spent 12 grand on social media, got 0. On the other hand, spent 6 grand, a little bit was a learning exercise, a little bit on email, and then for the last 6 months, you actually gain a grand, right? So even at a minimum, you're breaking even, and at a maximum, you might even be up several grand for the year because you've actually spent your marketing budget correctly. The swing there, I did a little back of the envelope here, going from negative 12 grand to a positive about 10 grand, that's a swing of, again, about $26,000. So one set of interviews, one set of insights can mean a $26,000 difference to your company at the end of the year. And again, this is in the dollars of a decade ago before hyperinflation and stuff like that. It could be even a bigger swing. So even though it seems like such a simple thing to interview real clients and see what kind of marketing works to reach them, it really can have a huge impact. You're talking about a big pivot, a big source of leverage here, right? And that's why we charge what we do for the service, because we're trying to find that one piece of knowledge, or maybe more, that will really have that kind of a big swing in impact, and it's well worth it when you get it. So just something to think about when staring at the budget numbers. Talk to you next time.